What's up guys, Scrammy here, coming at you with another video of the Sonim XP8. Now normally we're doing straight smashing and bashing of this phone, but today we're going to do things a little different. I'm going to give you some tips and tricks when it comes to using the Sonim XP8. I've had a few people asking me to give them a little lowdown, more of the phone, and normally I'm just really trying to break the phone, so today we're going to go over a few things that I like to personally do when it comes to the Sonim phone. Things to make it a little bit better, faster, just my personal preference. So, the first thing that I like to do, that I usually do this with all my phones, is we're going to go into developer options. Now, you're going to scroll down and get into your settings and bring it up here. We're going to go to system. Okay, normally, now you can't see anything here. We're going to go into system, and now we're going to go into about phone. So we click that, and now you're in about phone. Scroll it down, and you can see build number. Okay, we're going to tap on that repeatedly. So we're going to just hit it and keep going, and now you see it says enter PIN, because now this is going to be the PIN number you set up with your phone. So basically, you know, whatever your screen lock is, whatever your PIN number is. So we'll go in, put that through, and now it says you are now a developer. So that's great. So we're gonna back out, and now we're in system, and you can see now developer options has popped up. So we can click that, and now we're in developer options. So in developer options, there's many things you can do. You can adjust how aggressive your Wi-Fi signal is, if you'd rather it stick more to Wi-Fi or keep your data running in the background. These are things you can switch here. You can also switch how many apps are allowed to be open at once. So you can basically tell it, okay, don't leave more than 2 things open at once or 3 things open at once. Here you go, mobile data is always active. So you can adjust that. So this is turned off, but it may actually be turned on to your phone and you don't realize it. So if you don't want that, I suggest coming into your developer options, and you can just adjust these things how you see fit or how you'd like to. Now, I wouldn't adjust too many things because you don't want to really screw up the phone, but the biggest thing I like to do in here is if you continue to scroll down, all the way down, keep going, you can get to the, oh, went too far. We're going to go here under drawing. We're going to scroll down. You see we have this animation scale, animator duration, and Windows animation scale. So if you look here, you see they're all 1x. So we're going to click on those, and you can adjust the speed of each one of these things. So I like to personally put everything down to 0.5. You can, if you want to have 0 animation, turn it all the way off. But I like to keep it at 0.5, so the animation is still there, but now everything's half speed. So things just are a lot smoother. You go through, everything pops up faster now. It just gives the phone, it makes everything a little bit quicker. So when you're scrolling through and opening your stuff, there's a little less of lag. It makes a big difference when you're scrolling through. It just makes everything pop up a little bit faster, a little bit nicer. So that's one thing in the developer options that I prefer to do. And you know, if you're looking to give a quick way to speed everything up, you can see it makes it just goes quicker. It's faster. So that's just one quick thing you can do that makes it makes the phone seem a good bit snappier. Now, I've had a lot of people talking to me about the emergency button here, and I've seen a lot of reviews of people, they buy the phone and they're freaking out and they're really mad and they're giving it a terrible review because when you get this phone out of the box, well, that red button there will call 911. Trust me, when I first got the phone, that's one of the biggest things that I did like 3 times in a row is I kept hitting that button. So obviously we don't want that to happen. So we'll go in. Again, we're going to go through into settings again. But now we'll scroll down. And you're going to bring up Programmable Keys. So if you go into your settings, scroll down to Programmable Keys, you can see here, there's your dedicated push-to-talk key, the yellow key. Okay, there's your alarm key. So that would be your red button. And you can also adjust press and hold timer for your push-to-talk. I have that off. But all of these things in Programmable Keys, you can now switch to something else. I just picked random stuff just so I'd rather have that than pulling up, the 911 app or calling 911. So now when you hit that, it'll open up whatever you set it as. Now, a few more things you can get to in settings. If you go into your settings and you see plus one more, if you click that, well, that brings up Wi-Fi calling here. So you can actually use your Wi-Fi signal to make and receive phone calls. That's if you don't have very good service. I definitely think you should try out Wi-Fi calling. It's definitely a good feature, and it definitely helps out if you don't have the greatest of service and you just want to be able to make phone calls better. Well, if you got Wi-Fi, you can turn that on and you'll make and receive phone calls using your Wi-Fi signal, so you'll have a much better quality phone call, and you won't drop the call like you would if you just were on your regular service and didn't have very good service at the time. You can also go into your battery and you can set up your battery saver, so you can turn it on or you can adjust when it comes on. So I have this one, it comes default set when to come on, so at 15% battery it will automatically turn on. It will automatically go into battery saver without having to worry about actually switching it yourself. You could turn it on and use it all the time, but the phone personally has plenty of battery power, so I don't really feel that's necessary unless you really want to get every last little bit out of your phone. You can turn that on, but I don't really use it. I'm good with it being turning on at 15%. Normally, I never have the phone that low anyway, because I plug it in and charge it probably more than I should. But anyway, that's in there, so you can adjust that in case you want to constantly save battery, or if you don't really need that, you can see that it'll turn on automatically. You can also have your adaptive brightness, so it'll get brighter or darker depending on the environment. Alright, another useful feature that I like to use, if you go into your storage manager here, so you go to storage in your settings, click it, you have storage manager. Now basically the storage manager will automatically get rid of photos and videos that are backed up on your phone. So as long as these videos are put somewhere else, say you have a Google account and your photos automatically go to that, well, you turn this on and you go over here where the three lines are, the three dashes, you click that and you can actually see this here. It says remove photos and videos over 30 days old, and to help free up storage space, Storage Manager removes backed up photos and videos from your device. And you can actually adjust how many, if you want 30 days, 60 days, 90 days old. So this only applies to things that you have backups for, so it won't just delete just to delete. But if you have like a Google account, this actually will help you out, and it lets you, save space in any way you can, especially with a phone like this. Although it does offer expandable storage, I don't really like to mess with memory cards. So having the ability to just, get rid of unnecessary photos and videos, that definitely helps out. Alright, so some more useful things. We're going to head back into settings here. So we're going to scroll down to apps and notifications permissions. So you go in there, it's going to tell you your recent apps, but you can scroll down and you can turn on your notifications. You can literally pick what you want notifications for. So if there's specific apps, or if you want all your apps, you can basically tell it what you want it to do and how you want it to do it. So that's a plus. Some more things you can do down here in the apps and notifications and settings here. If you click see all apps, we're going to click on that. We're going to scroll down. Say there's apps that you really don't need, or you don't want them taking up too much space. Well, let's just see. I can click Duo and say I don't want that. Well, you can go down into storage, okay? So you see how it says that it's used 68.51 megabytes. While that's not a lot of storage, you click on that, you can actually clear the cache. So you can clear basically everything that this app has. So we can clear the cache or clear all data out of it. Now you can do that with basically every app on here, although some you're not going to be allowed to get rid of because they came with the phone. So certain AT&T apps you may be able to disable, but you won't be able to completely get rid of it out of the phone. So like I can see this, I downloaded that PUBG game so I could do that test for you guys there a few days ago. Well, you can see that's using up a lot of storage. So if I click this, I can firstly clear that cache of that, or I can go through and just straight up uninstall it, which that's what I'm going to do because I don't use it. So that's going to save me space. And you can do that with basically any app that's on here, although some of them you're not going to be able to completely get rid of because they're just going to end up either re-putting themselves on your phone, or you can only disable it because it came with, I have an AT&T phone, so it came with all the AT&T stuff. But depending on who you got it through, your provider, and also the Sonim dedicated apps, you're probably not going to be able to completely get rid of. Alright guys, one last thing here. So if we go back into our settings, bring up settings, you're going to go down to system again. When you're in system, you got gestures. So you can use these gestures. You got jump to camera, so you can double press the power button no matter what screen. If the screen is off or on, it will bring up your camera, which is kind of a nice feature. You also have quick functions to accept and reject calls. I don't really use quick functions, but they're there. And there's also toggle torch, which basically you shake the phone and the torch comes on, or your flashlight. So that's kind of a nice little thing. See if we can get it there. Shake it on and shake it off. Shake it on and shake it off. So that's a cool little feature you can use. Alright guys, to wrap up, I just wanted to say, you guys, if you have any questions, comments, feel free to ask me and I'll get back to you with the best answer I can. Just wanted to give you a quick little damage review here through all the stuff that I've done to the phone. You can see it's still covered in the flour because I haven't quite gotten all of that off yet, but I'm probably going to have to throw it in the dishwasher again. But you know, it's taken most of the damage like a champ here. I don't have any serious issue going on, but I do have to say that I'll let you listen to the volume. The speakers are pretty low compared to what they should be, and I'm pretty sure it's just because they're full of crap. So I'm gonna, you know, probably put this in the dishwasher again and see if I can get the speakers to come back. But so far, really, the only casualty is the sound volume. Besides that, everything else seems to be just fine. So the testing, smashing, and bashing will continue, guys.